Hey everybody, I just read Stories of Your Life and Others, a book recommended by my friend Professor Neil as the 25th book in a series, and I'm trying to read 30 books recommended to me by 30 friends on TikTok in the year before I turn 30. And for this, I only have 5 more, which is pretty exciting. This is a collection of 8 sci-fi/fantasy short stories, and my issues with short stories in general is that often I find that they're too short for me to give a shit. But in this book, I actually do give a shit. Like, these are probably some of the best short stories I've ever read. At their length, they're all immediately captivating. Not just captivating, each of them are so profoundly interesting because they are so unique within the realm of sci-fi stories. Like, it's very rare for me to read sci-fi or fantasy that doesn't just feel like a worse version of a sci-fi fantasy that I've already read, but each of these 8 stories genuinely feel like something I've never read before. Except for that one story that Arrival's based on, obviously. They also feel very different from each other. They don't just feel like 8 different takes on the same thing. That's why I call this sci-fi fantasy, because a lot of this doesn't even feel like sci-fi. This is also a rare sci-fi where I find the author is actually able to make people sound genuinely intelligent. There's one story where a boy becomes a super genius, and as I was reading this, I was like, damn, this is like what I would actually imagine a smart person to sound like, not just like somebody's idea of what a smart person is supposed to sound like. Honestly, I wish some of these stories were full-length books. Guys, that's the book itself. Check it out if it sounds interesting to you. And now I'm going to pick out our next read in the exact same location I'm sitting right now. And the person picking out our next read is going to be Herbie Alice. Herbie's book is right over here.
So the book I chose was Peter Pan, which is the novelization of an early 20th century stage play written by the same author, J.M. Barrie. And what I find so fascinating about Peter Pan, the character, is that he has this almost godlike control over his surroundings, but he himself is guided by very childlike, changeable ambitions. And what I find so interesting about Peter Pan, the novel, is the way that the narrative voice, who is very present almost as a character in the story itself, is so aware of the joys and tragedies of that condition. I really hope that you enjoy it. I think that it says a lot about human nature.
All right, thank you, Kirby. I got Peter Pan right over here, ready to read at 150 pages, reading 27 pages a day. It should take me 6 days to read this book, which means if I start today, I should be back here on December 6th. So see you then. Bye.